everybody, my name is Bala and I'm 30 years old. Today I'm reading for you about Gandhi, part 2, from page 11, and now let's start. A start march. One of Gandhi's most successful protests took place in 1930. In India, only British companies were allowed to produce and sell salt. The government also placed a large tax on any salt sold. Gandhi thought it was unfair for Indians to pay to British for salt from Indian lands. Salt. Along Indians coast are large salt flats, while sea water evaporates and leaves salt behind on the ground until the government made it illegal. Indians could simply gather and use this salt for free. On December, Gandhi and a few dozen followers began a 21st day, 240 miles, 386 kilometers, walk across India to the sea. Along the way, Gandhi spoke to people and made speeches to large crowds. When he reached the coastal town of Delhi, tens of thousands of Indians were following him. Early on the morning of April 6th, Gandhi went down to the shore. Surrounded by British soldiers, he picked up a range of stones from the ground. His followers did the same. Gandhi was arrested along with more than 60,000 others. Change begins. The arrest and treatment of Indians caused anger throughout the world. More and more people spoke out against the government, and finally, the British were ready to consider leaving India. World War II began in 1939, altering the progress. While Gandhi and the INC demanded that the British leave India in 1942, they were all arrested. Violent protests took place all over India. In 1945, the war ended. British and Indian leaders began to discuss the British leaving India. Throughout India's history, Hindus and Muslims had often been in conflict. Gandhi believed that the people of these two religions could learn to live in peace in the united India. The Muslims League, which represents the Islamist people, wanted his own country. When the agreement that ended British rule was signed in 1947, the country was split. Against Gandhi's advice, the Muslim people formed the new country of Pakistan. More than 10 million people moved from one country to the other. There was much fighting, and many people died. Gandhi worked tirelessly. While through discussions, the various non-violent protests, he achieved a number of temporary peace agreements. No one else was able to do this at the time. Fasting. Fasting, although without food, is a regular practice in many religions, including Hinduism. Gandhi often fasted as part of religious practice, and he also used fasting as a political tool. In 1947, Gandhi fasted to protest the riots in Calcutta, and they ended. He fasted again in 1948 and convinced the people of Delhi to find peace. Death and legacy. On January 13, in 1948, Gandhi was on his way to a prayer meeting. He went to the ceremony with his granddaughters and grandniece. They heard the acting men work and climbed up onto the stage. About 500 people were gathered to hear Gandhi's prayers. A young Hindu man in the crowd opposed Gandhi's word to make peace with Muslims. He came out to the stage, pulled out a gun, and shot Gandhi 3 times. Gandhi did startled people everywhere. Nearly 500,000 people were at his funeral. Despite his death, the influence of the small man, whom the Indians called Mahatma or Great Soul, continued to change the world. His efforts inspired such great leaders as Martin Luther King, Jr., and Nelson Mandela, and will continue to inspire people for many years to come. Gandhi. Here is a picture of Gandhi with his granddaughter and grandniece in 1948. Grocery. Compromise. Vote. To reach an agreement after both sides give a part of what they ask for. Page 8. Discriminate. Vote. Treated a person or group unfairly because of gender, race, age, region, or other difference. Page 7. Hindu adjective of or relating to the major region in India, which includes many gods and a belief in reincarnation. Page 5. Inspire verb to encourage a person to act. Page 4. Muslims, people who follow the religion of Islam. Page 13. Non-violence. Now, the refusals to use physical force or violence as responses. Page 5. Political adjective, having to do with government, politics, or politics. Page 9. Protest. Now, a nation to express strong disagreement of disapproval. Page 8. Sentence. Verbs. Formal declares a punishment given to someone by a court of law. Page 10. Struggle. Now, a goal that is difficult to achieve. Other fail to achieve such a goal, a fight or conflict. Page 4. Thus, now the fee collected by a government to pay for its services, functions, and operation. Page 11. Unjust, adjective, unfair, unjust, or dishonest, or not just. Page 8. Goodbye. Thank you for listening to me.